I want to eat them so bad, but I can't. Hello à tous! Bonjour to everyone! I'm Nao and today we're gonna make something. Something what? Let me explain. So I have a battle for a few years now. I'm against gift wrap. I mean, you basically use it to throw it away the second after, so it's a lot of waste and a lot of money that go to the trash. And if it's only to make something beautiful, we have other ways. Like you can buy boxes. This one is already made, I bought it a few years ago, and you can put your gift in it. And it's actually easier to open, and I can use it as a storage the rest of the year. And you can also... Yes, I already put my Christmas gift in it, so it's heavy. But you can custom. This one is just a cardboard box that I custom a few years ago, and I mean it still looks really pretty, so I still use it. So yes, this is my way for a few years now to wrap gift, but I mean I don't use wrapping paper, so I don't know if I can use the word wrap. You can tell me. I have a lot of big box, but I don't have smaller one for smaller box. I don't have a lot of it. So this year I want to make a smaller box, and I have an idea in mind that I think will look super cool. I want to make a gingerbread house that will look good under the Christmas tree as decoration, but will also hide a present inside. So I think this idea would be pretty cool. I'm really excited. I have high expectation for this project, and I mean maybe you too, because you saw the thumbnails. That means you know how the box will look like, and me, I don't know for the moment. So yes, I hope it will look good at the end and we can go straight to the project. So I already just made a plan and a design just to put my ideas on paper and to know where I need to go. And tomorrow we're gonna start on the project, and I think the first thing is to show you the supplies. And of course I will miss some of it because you never guess how much supplies you're gonna need for a project. So if I miss some, I will write them on the video. Yes. So see you tomorrow for actually beginning the project. And obviously some cardboard, but you don't have to use this much of cardboard. I just don't have the perfect box size. If you have the perfect box size that you would desire, you can just throw away some steps. I will just explain you in a minute. Like imagine this is the size of your perfect box. You just open it, flip it inside out so you don't have all the branding, just nice brown cardboard. Those flips will be like this. And the smaller one, you just need to cut in a triangle, and ta-da! You have a house, the base of it. But I don't have the perfect cardboard for my box, so I will make it from scratch. So if you make it from scratch, continue watching, and you have the perfect box and want to go quicker, you can go to this time code. I will use this cardboard because there is a nice pattern on the side with a white dot that I think is really cute and will be perfect for this kind of project. So yes, I will use this big baby. So almost 5 minutes of intro without actually starting the project. If you are still there, thank you. I'm a top YouTuber. So for now I'm just cutting out some pieces of my cardboard from my big box so it would be easier to cut on my table. And then I cut the piece that I will need, so 2 for the side and 2 for the front and back. And later I will cut 2 more for the roof because the roof will be separate. T'aimes bien le carton? Oui, t'aimes bien le carton? The old story with cat and cardboard. I don't know why they like it so much. So this is all the part that we need with the size of it, and then you just need to glue everything together. So I use a lot of hot glue. I'm not a super fan of hot glue, but for this project is the better. So for the side, keep in mind to just glue the long side, not the triangular shape, because we want to open the box actually. So yes, only the flat side, not the angle one. After that, on the base of the house, we're gonna trace the feature that we want to add, just to check the size of everything that we're gonna make. After that, I will take a less thick cardboard and I will trace some band that will be later the bricks on the house. So for the corner brick, I did a little bit of matte to make them look good. So you need a 1 cm and a 2 cm brick next to each other, and my bricks are 1 cm tall. So yes, you just need to cut the one with the cross and to make the fold in the middle, and you have perfect little bricks for the corner. Now I will just trim them to size. So this is the 2 separate roof pieces that I made because I want my roof to overlay a little bit on the side and on the bottom. So I made 2 other pieces. Then we're gonna need a craft paper bag. I don't know why I didn't think of it while listing the materials, because we're gonna need a lot of it. We're gonna cut some strip out of it to hide all the rough seams and the rough side of the cardboard. So yes, you're gonna need to cut a bunch of strip.
Here comes a new challenger!
And the same for wood glue, because I use a lot of it, so yes, I forgot a lot of things. So wood glue on the strip, and then you're gonna glue it on the side of the roof. And I didn't show it, but for one side of the roof, one of the long side, I cut it as an angle, so the 2 pieces will lay flat together. So for this side, we will need a bigger strip. And you can see it in this footage that this side is cut as an angle. So we let dry those and see you tomorrow. And we are already tomorrow. How time fly, isn't it? Okay. So this is dry now, so I will just clean the excess. So now that I'm thinking about it, I will less go onto a traditional gingerbread house and more onto a Hansel and Gretel witch house, which means gingerbread, of course, but also chocolate and candy and things like that. I think it will be so interesting to watch and so fun to make with these kind of details. So yeah, I'm gonna paint the bricks a chocolate color, and while the bricks are drying, we're gonna start onto the windows and other things that we need to add on the house. So okay, let's go. So I mix some brown paint with some brown, copper and magenta to have a warmer brown. The forbidden chocolate. It just looks like Nutella. Then I will paint the bricks that I made earlier, and for the corners you will need 2 or 3 layers depending on the paint that you use, and for me I just use acrylics. And you can save it for later with just some cellophane wrap. After that I will go on to the chimney. For that I will use the same cardboard as for the bricks. So I made 4 rectangles of 4 centimeters wide, and those I made a little indent in there to fold easily the chimney to have a nice little square at the end. And I cut the side as an angle so they will lay flat together. For the chimney I just used the side of my box to have the right angle to cut them, so the chimney will lay perfectly onto the roof. I also need to cut as an angle the front side of the chimney, so take care with the cutter. When I see back the image, I'm freaking a little bit. So yes, nice, we have a little chimney. And I'm gonna make an extra step. I want my chimney to have a top, something on top. So I will use 2 different cardboard to have 1 centimeter thickness at the end. And I'm gonna glue the 2 pieces together with some wood glue again. So after the second layer on the piece already made, I will make the first layer on the chimney. And I should have done that before, but I just forgot. So it will be easier if the piece is not glue, but I'm gonna add some eyelets. So I mark where I want them and made a hole. I choose 2 sides of a eyelet. One is 11 millimeters and the other is 10, I think. So they will slide each other in. So we have something nice, because one eyelet is not long enough to do all the thickness of the cardboard, so I use 2. Then for the window frames I need some strips of cardboard. I made them 6 millimeters wide. And after that I'm gonna wrap them in some paper craft to hide all the rough side. I will let them aside to dry. And yes, for the wood glue to stick really well and for the cardboard to stay flat, I use my brush, the end of my brush, to lay everything flat. And while we are at it, we're gonna use some craft paper to hide all the other ugly side that we have left on the box. And I will do the top chimney too. So it's kind of tricky, especially the inside, but I managed to do it. And it's so satisfying to peel off wood glue from the finger. I don't know if it's only me, but I find it so satisfying. And I will paint also the inside of the chimney because we're gonna see it, so it needs to be brown too.
The next day.
And we are already on the next day. So today is a big day. We're gonna trace all the bricks on the separate piece that we already made. So my bricks are 2 centimeters by 1 centimeters. So I traced them on the wall. You can see it really much, but I did it. And also on the chimney and the chimney top. Then I mix some other brown to have some color variation, like this one, a dark brown to look like dark chocolate, maybe. And then this brown, you can't see much at the camera, but it's slightly richer, slightly more saturated brown. And then the last one, who is really clear, not a white chocolate, but maybe a coffee chocolate, coffee or caramel chocolate. Then on the end of every strip I will cut one long brick with one small to lay everything together nicely. And on the corner one I will make a groove on the back side to have a nice fold for the corner. Then we need some 3D paint, so I made a test piece just to know how the flow of it works. I highly recommend to do one. And then I will start to do the 3D paint on every little brick walls that we made earlier. So sometimes it's kind of tricky, especially the long band, but we managed to do something cool and I think they look so cute. This is really when the project started to hype me and I was already seeing the potential of this house. So I just draw something with my 3D paint and it's to check if the paint is dry or not. Then we're gonna work on the window frame. For that I will use the strip that we made previously. I just cut the excess craft paper and I will have some nice strip to make my window frame. So I made 5.5 centimeters each little piece and I will glue them to make the frame, and then I will stick 2 other pieces in the middle of every side to have a nice window frame. And for that I use some super glue, but I stick the window frame to the mat. So here is one and I will need 6 of them for the house. And then we're gonna just paint them brown, the same brown as we use for all the bricks. So we'll tie everything together with the same brown. I think it's super cute. Oops, we're gonna use some mold. I use some chocolate mold. So I will put foam clay inside. I will try my best to go in every nooks and crannies so I don't have some bubbles, and to not put too much foam clay in the mold so I will not deform the mold. And after that we're gonna need to put them in the freezer, because you can't just demold it like this, so we need to freeze them so they will be a little bit harder and easier to demold. Then I made a paper template for the candy cane and I will sculpt them. It's a little bit hard to peel off of the paper, but I found that they dry a little bit quicker on paper. So yes, I just did them on paper and I use a lot of water to smooth them. And here are our candy cane. Then I made some candy that look like Drazzlebursts in the shape. And then some flatter one that I made some indent with a wooden tool. And then I made some small balls that I flattened to look like Skittles, and I made a ton of it. Then you see me just doing a strip. And I did some Christmas crown, so it's just a donut, and with the scissor you're gonna cut some spikes, and it's really easy to make and it looks super good at the end, so it's a win-win. Then I'm gonna add some little balls on the Christmas crown. Then it's time to demold everything, and we're gonna see if we have no bubbles. And actually I have one, so I will remake everything, this time with a smaller layer to be sure that I push everything in the mold and then fold the excess in the inside. I still have some bubbles, but they were a little smaller. Then I'm gonna peel everything from the paper, so the underside will have some time to dry too, and as I said, peeling from paper can be hard, but I just use a blade and it was okay. And then we're gonna make the roof. So for that, for the base of it, I made a grill. There are 2 by 2 centimeters squares for the shingles. And then I'm gonna make a paper pattern for the shingles, so I know that I will trace exactly the same pattern on every scale of the roof. And then I'm gonna report the pattern on every little square. And for the first row I put 2 shingles in a diagonal, and for the rest of it I just put them above every one. I don't know it's really clear, but you're gonna see when we're gonna do the 3D paint. So it took quite some time, as you can see, and when you do one of it you need to make a second one, because the roof has 2 sides. Then I'm gonna mix some paint for the little Skittles, so I made 6 colors. So I made a blue one, a green one, a yellow, an orange, some pink and some purple. So yes, you're gonna need a few layers of this. So as you all see, I made this amount of candy. And I quickly calculate, for the roof I need 112 candy, and on this paper I have 90. So this is not enough. So yesterday night I made some more, and yes, it looks like a psychopath, but it's so satisfying and it was so easier to calculate. So on this paper you have 150. So I will have enough for the 2 roof and some leftover for the house. So yes, first step today is to paint those and to paint all the other candy. And since you already saw me paint those type of candies. And now it's time to paint the other candy. So for the Tragibus-like candy, I will use the same color as I just used for the roof Skittles. So the yellow, the green, the blue, the purple and the pink. And orange. I forget orange. So yes, here they are. And for the spiral one, I just made 1 strip of every color and 1 strip of white. And for the long stick that I made, I just used 3 colors and I twist my sticks all around to make the spiral pattern. So it's kind of tricky to make because you need to have space for the 3 colors, so it's kind of tricky, but I think they look really cool at the end, so it's okay. Then I will put a satin varnish on the candy that I just made. So for the Skittles one, you need a satin varnish. I will use the same for all the twisted candy. And for the Drushabus, I use some watered down wood glue. And I will spread some white sand over it and it will look like sugar. And they look so cute, I love it. So for the moment it looks a little bit white, but it's because the glue, the wood glue is white. So when they will dry it will be a little bit more clear and we can see the color a little bit more. And I will do the same thing for those twisted candy. So the base, a thin wood glue layer and then some white sand. And you can save the sand that you didn't use. And I think they look so good. I mean, look at it. And for the chocolate, I use the same brown that I use for the bricks and the window frame to paint my chocolate piece. And now it's time for the other piece. So for the candy cane, I just paint some red strips. It can be kind of tricky because you don't want to put your finger where you already paint something. And for the Christmas crown, I paint a base layer of a rich green color. And then I will dry brush a lighter green on the spikes so it looks a little bit more 3D. And finally I will paint the little balls that I add on with red and yellow. For the gingerbread man I put a base layer of a cream color. Then I will go with a wash of a warmer brown and I dry brush some darker brown on the side to look a little bit more cooked. And I think it's really cute. And the same I will paint the little balls on the front. And then finally some 3D paint to do some decoration. And it's so cute! Then I will go with the satin varnish on the candy cane and the matte one on all the other pieces that we just made. I didn't show it, but I did it.
The next day.
I want to eat them so bad, but I can't because they are not real. But the one with the sugar on it, I mean, look at this one. This one is my favorite, actually. It looks so tasty. It looks like one of my favorite candy, so I will put them aside so I'm not tempted by eating them. So I finally resonate myself, but I was really tempted, I tell you. So I put everything aside to finally work on the house again. So for that, for the chimney, I will glue it together to have finally the shape of it, and I will glue the top of it, and I will take care to align everything. Then for the roof, I will mark where the roof is supposed to lean. I will put a little bit of tape between the two pieces so they will stay nice and flat, and then I will glue everything in place. With a lot of hot glue. For big piece like this, you want to go quick so the glue don't have the time to cool down and to dry. Just check at the end that the roof still open and we are good. So then I'm gonna mark where I want the chimney to be, because I don't need to do the shingles where the chimney is, so yes. So it's time for the roof. So I will put a heavy book inside so it will not move, and I will start to do all the 3D paint. So if you can do the roof while it's not glue on the house, it will be easier, but I was a little bit rushed by the time, so I had to do it on the house already. So yes, it's not easy, especially the other side, but I managed to do it. And it took me 1.5 hours just to do one side. So yes, it's pretty long. And then I made a door frame, because when I put the chocolate next to the window frame it looks a little bit small, so I did a window frame too with some cardboard and some paper craft again. Then we're gonna make the actual windows on the window frame, and for that I use some craft paper with some cute colors on it. So I chose a blue and pink for the front and back, and a blue with some white decoration for the side. And they look like candy and stained windows, and I'm so happy about the results. They look so cute. And this is all of my window frames, so you can see the 2 blue one with the frosting on the windows, and the 4 other one with the blue and the pink. They are so cute. And for the door frame I painted it brown, and I also put a windows on top with the blue from the side, so you will tie everything together. Then we're gonna add the candy cane to the window frame. So you choose 2 candy canes that go well together, and with a little bit of hot glue you're gonna stick them to the side. And this is why the window frames I didn't care about the side. And this is all of our windows, and I think they are so cute. I love it so much. I'm the #1 fan of my own project. Then we're gonna glue the chocolate to the door frame. And then I'm gonna add some 3D paint where I missed some. Then I will glue the chimney in place, so I will take care of not touching the 3D paint that I just put on there. So again, if you have time, wait a day for the 3D paint to dry, but I did not have time. So I put 3D paint all over the chimney for a nice transition between the roof and the chimney. And then we're gonna mark where the windows is supposed to be, so it will be easier to glue them evenly all around the house. Then I'm gonna start to glue everything. So first I will put my Christmas crown around the eyelet. Then I will glue the door frame and all the bricks all around, so one side flat next to the door and the one with the alternating bricks for the back. So for the back you will not have a clean lineup, so this is why I made the gingerbread man. And you just need to glue the corners. So because of the roof you will need to tweak a little bit and cut a little bit the bricks, but do the best for the fitting. And then I will continue to add 3D paint all around the bricks that we just glue for the under bricks and for the corners. And if you can do the bricks, the corner bricks before, it would be easier because it was a nightmare to do. And I didn't show it, but I also add some 3D paint around the door frames. Then we're gonna glue all the windows onto the house and some candy on top of it, and just check by opening the roof that it doesn't go in the way of the roof. Then I will do some little touch-up for the bricks at the back where the two pieces join. And then I will glue my little gingerbread man to hide the little gap between my bricks. Then I will add a small Christmas crown onto the door. And then for the long twisted candy, I glued them on the top of the roof because it was a little bit empty, so I alternate the colors between the two sides, one long on the bottom of the Christmas crown and one on the top. Then I will add some chocolate, one on the back, on the top of the gingerbread, one on the front on the roof, and one on the back. Then I will add some lace on the side of the roof, and yes, with hot glue you have a lot of little thread of glue, so it's kind of tricky. And a smaller one on the front, just to tie everything together, but not so much that it will distract from the other feature, and just some 3D paint to hide the transition. Then on the top I will glue some lacing, so only on one side, so the roof can still open, and then I will glue some of the candy on the top, and I will mark with some pins where I need to glue them, so they will be nicely spaced. And since I have some candy left over, I will add them all around the house to add a little bit of decoration, like those one on the door frame and also some on the roof. Then I twisted a white and a red rope together to do the handle, so I will put them into the eyelet, make a knot, cut them and burn the edge, and we are finished. So now we're gonna see the final result. Ta-da! The house is finished. It was really a bigger project than I expected, but I'm always like that. I mean, when I have time, I add details, so I don't have enough time, and I finish the project rushing the night before. Yes, this is my weakest point, absolutely. But, I mean, look at this! She's so cute! I mean, it's really good for a Christmas box, actually. Maybe a little bit too much, but it can look good as a decoration for under the Christmas tree or somewhere for Christmas. I think it's really cute, and it's definitely looks like the witch house from Hansel and Gretel, but I really like it. I think the candy was my favorite part to craft. Overall, on this project, my favorite part is the roof, and things that I can improve was all the icing on the house, because I didn't draw it before. I think they are not really symmetrical or even, but in a way it's look handmade, so it's okay. And another thing that I will do differently is the bricks. I think I will do the lining with the 3D paint before gluing them, because it was a nightmare to do all the little cracks there, and yes, it was not easy. So if I want to make another gingerbread house, or if you want to make it, do it before. So if you want to see other creative stuff, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Actually, is it free? So you know the usual stuff like sharing and comments. It would really help me. So yes, I think it's a wrap for today. See you soon and goodbye. Au revoir. C'est fini. C'est fini. Enfin non, il y a le montage. Just need to do the editing. Editing. Montage. Editing. Je suis en train de péter un câble. I want to make another. So you know these. Je vais pas y arriver. Je vais pas y arriver. So you know the usual. Ah putain, c'est dur à dire. Après c'est un peu le but, hein. C'était pour faire travailler ma prononciation, mais là j'en chie.